Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, me and my man Tony Crow, we on a late night. You know what I mean? I really wanted to try to get this in earlier today, but I had too much other stuff going on, so I couldn't get it done. So, we're doing it this morning, I guess. We're doing it this morning. But before we even get started, I want to remind you, we got the Cavs at the Knicks tickets on November the 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a dope time. Center court seats, section 223, 224, 225, $155 per ticket. There's a link in the description of the video. It's also one tag to the top of your YouTube chat. So please, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Make sure you get that now. All right? So let's get to it. Tony, should the Knicks pursue Jrue Holiday? That's what we're here for. Should the Knicks pursue Jrue Holiday?
First off, peace, my brother. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Oh, man. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I mean, I'll say this. Depending on the asking price.
Depending on the asking price.
I think.
So, I think
it's very possible that there's a bidding war.
Right.
Because of, I think he could be valuable for just about every team, including the Knicks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think
we could win a bidding war as well.
I think we could win a bidding war, no doubt about it. We could win a bidding war.
Is he the piece to even get into the bidding war for? I mean, there's an argument that, because, all right, here's the thing. I'm all for it, but what's the long-term or short-term goal in this? Are we bringing him in with the intention of an extension? I think he's, 33 now? Or are we
He's 33. He's 33 years old.
Or are we bringing him in with the intention of having his contract play out, whether it be 1 year or two?
Well, I think he makes $36.8 million this season. And then there's a player option for $39.4 million in 24-25. Okay. I think I think he would opt into the 39.4, right? And then you'd have some decisions to make in 25-26 with Jrue Holiday, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle, right? So their contracts they don't expire at the same time, but you can bet your bottom dollar that after the 24-25 season, Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are opting out of their contracts. Right? So during that time, you'd really be able to determine how good is this team and where are we going? What are we doing? You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying because I have the same questions, right? Is he the guy that you go in for? I don't know if you have to go in I don't know if you have to give up all of your assets to get him.
No, not
right?
all, but if there wasn't a bidding war,
if there's a bidding war, right?
You know what I mean? If there wasn't a bidding war, I would say yeah, because if it was really about matching salaries and then even giving up two of those firsts that aren't ours, I'd be okay with that. I'd be totally fine with that.
Right.
Especially we got a trade exception. I think that's like $10 million. We
have a trade exception?
I believe so.
Where's that from?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure we do. We may have, I don't know if it's two that equal 10 million or one at 10 million, but I know we have trade exceptions.
Okay.
We spoke on it.
I'm trying to remember where those trade exceptions are coming from. Who we traded for or who we traded away to get those trade exceptions.
I'll find it in a second because
Okay.
I'm sure we do. But yeah, if it was about matching salary and giving up those protected picks that aren't ours, I would go for it.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about this. And I hear a little bit of an echo or something in the background. But first of all, I mean, I think he fits, right? Without a doubt. I think he definitely fits the Knicks. He can shoot the three ball. He plays defense. He's 6'5", so he's the same size as Quentin Grimes. You know what I mean? So I think he definitely fits the bill. He's the kind of guy that Tom Thibodeau would want on the basketball team. No doubt about it. And I think Tom Thibodeau would love Jrue Holiday. And as a matter of fact, to make his fit even a little bit better, he can help to handle the basketball some. You know what I mean? So he can alleviate some of those ball handling duties from Jalen Brunson, right? You can have possessions where Jrue Holiday is playing off the ball and Jalen Brunson is the primary ball handler. And then you can switch it around and have Jalen Brunson play off the ball and Jrue Holiday be the primary ball handler. So I definitely think he's a good fit for the basketball team, right? You know, he's a glue type of guy. You know, he's going to do whatever he needs to do to help the team win. He's a leader. You know, good character. He is when you talk about this regime, he's their kind of guy. No doubt about it, right? But then, you know, all those questions come in that we're asking. He's 33 years old. So you know, people talk about the timelines. I'm not as concerned about the timeline, to be honest with you, because I think you win with, you know, you win with all different ages of players, right? You win with all different ages. So I'm not as concerned about the timeline as some people may be concerned with. All right? I think the question is, are you giving up assets that you could use later on for somebody else, you know, a bigger fish, right? Are you giving up those assets for Jrue Holiday, and then not even cracking the top 3 in the Eastern Conference? I think that is the question, right? Like, how much better are you getting if you add Jrue Holiday after giving up these assets? I think that's the question. And I don't have the answer to that. I don't have the answer to that at all. You know how much better do you get if you add them? I don't know. But I do think he could be a guy that helps you get. I think you get better with Jrue Holiday. You know, the Knicks are definitely contending for a top. I think they're in contention to be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. And then do you set your team up so that now you really have when you do get one of those big pieces, like, you know, you got some real pieces around it. Obviously, you're gonna have to move one of those guys to get a big piece, you know, a RJ or a Randall to get one of those big pieces. But, you know, like, you got some serious pawns to play with.
Here's what I'll say, Sim. If the Knicks know they're not extending Quickley, and they know they're playing the restricted free agency card,
Mm-hmm.
I'd move Quickley in a deal. You know what I mean? For Jrue Holiday, and I mean,
Well, you got to move a little more than that.
No, I obviously, yeah.
Know.
Quicklly, Fournier, what you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm saying I'd consider it in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because now Quickley's value, along with the salary, you know what I mean. I'd rather move him now than have him not knowing that you're not gonna try to keep him later.
Right. Uh, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you're just looking at the contract situation with Emmanuel Quickley, but then who is that? I guess you can stagger Jalen Brunson and Jrue Holiday so that you still have a ball handler, a primary ball handler. You know what I mean, coming off the bench, because you'd be moving Quentin Grimes to the bench. There's no doubt about that, right? And then so you still need, unless Dante DiVincenzo can do it, right? If Dante DiVincenzo can do it, then you've got that primary ball handler coming off the bench. I don't think he's a natural primary ball handler though, Dante DiVincenzo. You know what I mean? So you may still have to stagger Jalen Brunson and Jrue Holiday, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Having to stagger those guys. Now, if you include Quentin Grimes in the trade, you have a little bit more of a natural fit by having Jrue Holiday in the starting lineup, and then you still got Emmanuel Quickley as the primary ball handler off the bench.
Then you talking Grimes, Fournier, and Hartenstein.
Yeah, Grimes, Fournier, and Hartenstein.
I mean, that'll make the money work.
Right. Even if you include Emmanuel Quickley, because Quickley makes just $4 million this season, you still got to include like a Hartenstein.
And that's where it gets tricky. Now you taking away three rotational guys. Tibbs don't. He only play 8 anyway. When he's clicking, you taking away 3 for 1. And I still believe you're gonna have to give draft capital.
Oh yeah, you still gotta give draft capital. So there's no doubt about that.
So now, Now it's a question: is this the kind of all-in move you want to go for at this particular point?
I see. For me, I think it depends on where that draft capital is. Is it? You know what I mean? Where is it? Is it down the line a couple of years, or is it? Is it 2024's draft pick? Is it that Milwaukee draft pick? You know what I mean? So I think it depends on where that draft capital is, because Portland, look, there's no doubt about it. They're going to be looking for draft picks. They're going to be looking for young players. There you go. Draft picks and young players. Right? Would they want Evan Fournier? You know what I mean? They would have in essence, they would save some money with Evan Fournier, I guess, because if you assume that Jrue Holiday is going to opt into his contract at $39 million next season, right? Evan Fournier gives them $19 million coming off the books. Talking about Portland, right? Gives them $19 million coming off the books. And then either Quentin Grimes or Emmanuel Quickley, they would probably keep those guys around. And then someone like a Isaiah Hartenstein, he'd come off the books as well for next season. So that would be, Portland would save some money, no doubt about it. If you include Hartenstein and you include Evan Fournier, they're probably saving $29 to $30 million right there. And then, they may decide to keep Emmanuel Quickley or keep Quentin Grimes. It can definitely work. What kind of draft capital is it? I think, that's definitely going to be the question, right? That's going to be the question. What kind of draft capital is included in that trade? So I don't know, because you're moving Fournier, a player that, you've been trying to get off of his, contract and all of that stuff anyway. Because you're moving Fournier, I don't know if you're giving up all of your, I guess it depends on where that draft capital comes in. You know what I mean? But, how much are you really giving up? Yeah, I think you still have assets to be able to make some big moves down the line, because, you still got Julius Randle and RJ Barrett that's going to be able to, give you some help on that on the trade market. You know what I mean? Later on down the line. You know what I mean? How much better, Tony, do you think it would make the Knicks though?
And that's the other thing. I'll say this. It'll immediately make us it'll immediately help us in the sense that he won't be on Boston. He won't be on the Heat.
That's my biggest fear.
You know what I mean?
My biggest fear is that he goes to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes to Boston, he replaces Marcus Smart.
Yeah, it's a two-team race in the East.
If he goes to Boston, man, that's tough. That's tough. I can't even front. That's tough. I don't want him to go to Boston.
Yeah, to me that's the biggest threat as well.
Well, what about Philly?
I think Philly could be a threat. I think if it's Philly, it ends up being the 3-team trade somehow,
right? James Harden going someplace.
Yeah, goes to the Clippers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe the Blazers get a first round pick from both teams, and then whatever the contract fillers are, you know what I mean? Whatever the Clippers was gonna give up earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they both get they get a first round pick from both teams. I think that'll work. But I don't mind. The only thing I'm scared of is if he goes to Boston, and Miami to a lesser degree.
Yeah, I mean, either one of those teams, you know what I mean? But really Boston, I'm really afraid of that. I don't know what they would have to give up to get him.
Got
I don't want him to go to Boston. I really don't. I do not want him to go to Boston,
dive
man.
Already into all the teams. Like one of the reasons why I would do it, and it sucks to even think like that, but is to keep him away from some of these other teams in the East.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's anywhere else in the West, I hear the Lakers, you know what I mean? They could put up a package for him. I don't really care. It's out West. I'm focused on what the Knicks could do in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Conference finals or final, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Or finals. But
so where in your mind, if he comes to the Knicks,
it makes us?
If he comes to the Knicks, let's say Quentin Grimes is included, and the Knicks still have Emmanuel Quickley, right?
Hartenstein and Fournier.
Hartenstein and Fournier is probably included.
You know why it's tough, Sim? We already down a backup 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now we talking about being down a backup 5, 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Like now, and we're already a short team. Mm-hmm. He doesn't come in bringing like legitimate height. You know what I mean? He goes right into that 6'4", 6'5",
6'5",
mode that
6'4",
we're
6'5"
collecting.
guard. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it would have to be in conjunction with the next move. You know what I mean? It can't be like the next move is whenever it happens. I think we need more height. We need more after that. Where, because it's, you know what I mean? Like we don't have a backup 4. We talking about getting rid of Hartenstein. I mean, we would have to basically.
You'd have to.
I mean, unless
you're moving RJ.
I can't.
I think that I think that would be a mistake. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Derrick Rose, is that? No, we didn't trade Derrick Rose. We have a trade exception. I can't find it. They trying to make me pay for whatever site.
But there's got to be some centers, backup centers that you can pick up for the veterans minimum out there that can be serviceable. I see someone said get Dwight.
Yeah, right? Kerry Cox said Dwight Howard.
You know, there's got to be some centers out there that can be serviceable. Backup centers, backup power forwards too. Because you'd open up roster spots. You know, that could be, that could be a mellow call. I ain't gonna. I'll just leave it there. But just saying, you know what I mean. But You'd have
Nobody
roster spots. You'd have roster spots to, try to pick up a veteran, a player on a veteran's minimum. Somebody's out there. I don't know who,
Well,
but someone's out there.
let me ask you this, because again, I'm not 100% for it or against it, but let me ask you this: are you afraid of this taking away, one of our strengths? At least I believe one of our strengths coming into the season, the continuity. You know what I mean? Like, because now we're making a couple more roster changes. You know what I mean? A couple more subtractions, a couple more additions.
I feel like Jrue is one of those guys like a Josh Hart that kind of can fit on any team, because of the way, he can hustle, he can play defense. He's unselfish on the offensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? So he's going to do whatever the team needs. So I don't think I don't think they'd miss a beat, to be honest with you. He's that type of a guy.
I didn't necessarily mean him particularly, but with the subtraction again of Hartenstein, and now we're gonna have to bring some new guys in.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then we, like, right now we only worried about, and not saying worried about, but the only guy we got to acclimate to is DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo, yeah.
You know what I mean? But now we're talking about more roles, more role adjustments.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not against it,
Mm-hmm.
and I could think of positives for it.
I mean, I think there's a lot of positives.
As long as we're not overbidding for them,
right.
You know what I mean. Then I think it's a good move. And again, keeping him away from Boston, keeping him away from Miami
and the Sixers, or the Sixers,
and the Sixers.
Yeah, my man Kevin said, "Let it go." He's talking about Melo. I'm just saying, I'm trying. Jeremy Newsbaum said the Knicks still have their $6.8 million trade exception from trading Obi to Indiana for 2 second-round picks. So that could come into play.
There it is. I knew it was
that could possibly come into play right there. Let me see who else. I seen somebody else, someone who said that they were worried about bringing in Jrue Holiday because the Knicks need wings and not more guards. The thing is,
he could defend 1, 2, 3, 4 at times. And like I would. I'm sorry, Sam, but I would be much more comfortable with him at backup power forward minutes than arguably anybody else on our team. Just because I've seen him guard Kevin Durant. I've seen him guard, you know what I mean, like the best of the best on the wing.
Yeah. And you'd be giving up another guard, right? So you'd be giving up either Quickley or Quentin Grimes. So it's not like you're adding him to the mix of small, 6'4", 6'5" guards. You're bringing, you're trading one away and bringing him in. And you're not going to miss anything on the defensive side. And you should get more consistency on the offensive side, more basketball IQ, more leadership. I think your lineup gets more flexible because right now in that lineup, like Quentin Grimes, no hate towards Quentin Grimes, but if you need him to be the primary ball handler for a couple of plays, he can't. That's not his cup of tea right now. You know what I mean? The only other person in that lineup that can really do it, well, RJ can do it some, Randall can do it some. If you have Jrue and you have Brunson, that's less time that you see Julius Randle being that primary ball handler, being the facilitator. But also he's a guy that can shoot, so when Randle draws a double team or triple team, he can knock down the three. There's a lot of things you can do, and he can, between him and Brunson, they can stagger. Playing the primary ball handling role off the bench, not off the bench, but with the bench. There's a lot of things you can do with Jrue Holiday because he can defend.
And they shared the season with the Pelicans, right? Randall Holiday?
They may have.
No?
They may have. They may have. I'm not sure. I'd have to check.
Because what's the name? What's the name didn't start? Peyton didn't start there.
Right. They may have. I'll have to go back and check that. You know what I'm saying? They may have shared a season together. So, I think it would be, the Knicks. Listen, the Knicks don't have wings now. And you're not going to get one. But bringing a guy like Jrue Holiday is definitely an upgrade all around to your basketball team, I think. There's still a question as to whether or not it's the right move. I'm pretty sure the Knicks are discussing it. Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose are discussing it. So that question is there. Is it the right move?
Let me ask you this, Sam. If the choice was yours, are you sending Quickley or are you sending Grimes?
Like you were saying earlier, a lot depends on the contract situation. But let's just say that, let's just throw the contract situation out. Okay, let's act like it doesn't exist. If it didn't exist, I'd move Grimes. And that way we have Quickley who can be, because I believe Jrue Holiday can play off the ball as well. I believe Jalen Brunson can play off the ball as well, right? So I would move Grimes so that we can still have Quickley being that primary ball handler off the bench with a Dante, with a Josh Hart out there. And if you need it for, Jrue or Jalen to play some with the bench, you can still do that as well. You know what I mean? But now...
More versatility.
I think it does. I think and either one of those three guys can play off the ball too. You know what I mean? Where Grimes, I think, is right now basically just an off the ball player. So I think you keep a little bit more versatility. It's an easier slot into that starting lineup for Jrue Holiday. Right? Now, he's gonna go where Quentin Grimes was. He's going to fit right into that spot where if you trade Emmanuel Quickley, now obviously Quentin Grimes has to go to the bench. And then you got to figure out what those roles are on the bench because it's Quentin Grimes, it's Dante DiVincenzo, it's Josh Hart, right? And then you have, whoever your bigs are going to be. So where's the room for a Jrue Holiday to play with the bench or Jalen Brunson to play with the bench? Because those three guys, Dante, Grimes, and Hart, are probably going to play. So where is there room for one of Brunson or Jrue Holiday to play with the bench? I think if you move Grimes, you don't have to worry about there being room for either one of those guys to play with the bench because you got IQ out there. Still, you know what I mean? So I think it makes more of a natural fit for the team. So I would probably move Grimes.
Yeah, I agree.
That's throwing the whole contract situation out.
What's Deuce making? Or is there anybody in the $3 million range
for the Knicks?
Yeah, after Quickley it jumps down to like 1.9 or something, right?
After Quickley, Ryan Arcidiacono makes 2.5, Quentin Grimes 2.3, Miles McBride is 1.8, Jericho Sims is 1.9. Yeah.
So yeah, that's 6 because Fournier's at what, 19 this year?
Fournier's at 19 million flat. Yep.
19. That trade exception brings it to 25. You still got to get to 10. So yeah. I mean, you could do Fournier. You could actually do Fournier, Hartenstein, and the trade exception, and not even include one of those two guys.
Yeah. I seen someone in the chat, Joel, I think his name was, asked me why would I not trade RJ. He said, why wouldn't you trade RJ? He's just a role player. But once upon a time, Jrue Holiday was just a role player too. You know what I mean? Now, he went to Milwaukee and he was the perfect fit for Milwaukee. He took them over the top, but once upon a time, he was also a role player. I wouldn't want to make the trade because I wouldn't want to include RJ. I'd like to have RJ with the team there, with Jrue and Jalen and Randall, because I feel like if you trade RJ, in my opinion, I don't feel like you take as many steps forward by bringing in Jrue Holiday.
I don't know if you trade in RJ and you and it's RJ and the trade exception, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but right, if it's RJ and the trade exception, and then now, just like now we're adding another small guard to already small guards.
I
You know what I mean?
agree with that, but again, I'm more comfortable with Holiday starting at the 3, even as an undersized 3, just because of who he is defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I know who he is defensively. I don't know. I
running a 3-guard lineup. I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't help us, but we wouldn't be losing Hartenstein, so we would still have that part. I mean, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I would rather either.
I would definitely, me personally, I would just rather move on from Grimes or IQ, preferably Grimes for me, because I think it fits better for the team. And then you're adding, another 19-point scorer to, RJ is an 18 to 19 point per game guy. Jalen Brunson is a 24 point per game guy. Julius Randle's a 24 point per game guy. All of those guys are, their averages are going to go down some, if you add a Jrue Holiday. But I think in order to be able to compete, in my opinion, with a team like Milwaukee or like Boston, who have, Milwaukee's having Damian Lillard, Giannis, and Chris Middleton, and then Boston, Jaylen Brown, KP, and the other J guy over there. Those guys got 3. The Knicks might need to have 4. You know what I mean? To even to be in the conversation.
So my last question would be, if that's who they want, are you saying, okay, we're not interested?
I might, because I just don't think, me personally, I think we would get a little better, but I don't think it takes us into another echelon. I think adding him to the group possibly takes us to another echelon.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
At least gives us the chance to take us there.
If we can get Boban and the cost is less, do you go that route?
I don't know. I feel like Jrue Holiday is like a good fit for this team, with just the way he is defensively, being able to have ball handling duties, share those duties with Jalen Brunson. I feel like he's actually a perfect fit for this basketball team.
I agree. He's perfect.
I feel like he's a perfect fit. Yeah, perfect fit for this team. That's why I think the Knicks really have to give heavy thought into getting Jrue Holiday, because I think he's a perfect fit. Does it take us to that upper echelon of team? I don't know. You won't know till you get out there on the floor. But when you talk about just defense, the ability to shoot the ball, handle the ball, his character, all of that stuff, it fits everything that the Knicks are trying to stand for right now.
Can we look around the league real quick, and who do you think would have the best shot at grabbing them? For instance, if Miami is willing to go with the same offer they were going for Lillard, which would be very ironic, you know what I mean? Would the Blazers then take that package? You know what I mean? If Miami wanted him, or
I don't know.
You asked what Boston would need, I would say it would either take Brogdon and like 2 draft picks because I think they own all their picks, or it would take White and 1 pick, but I don't think they want to move White, so it'll probably take like Brogdon and Al Horford, or Brogdon and
Brogdon, his contract expires next year, 24-25, so it was on the same, Derek White makes $18.3 million. Al Horford is $10 million. I mean, they would possibly
make it work.
They would possibly be able to make it work without giving up. They can make it work.
Yeah,
they can make it work.
I already, Sim, I told you, I
don't even want to think. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it because they can make it work, and if they get Jrue Holiday, they are going to be nice. And here's also a thing, because Portland, they traded for him, and they are, I think they're going to acquiesce to his requests where he would want to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think they would try to help.
Well, that
facilitate
being said,
that. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you got the list, but we weren't on his list.
He put out. I didn't know he put a list out.
He.
I know that I saw something where they said, here are teams that may pursue him. I think ESPN or somebody. I saw that, but I didn't know he put a list out.
Okay, I maybe I misread it, but it looked. I was actually, I seen the comments in the comment section first, where they were saying he's not on our list. Then I went and found the list, but I didn't read it. I just went to the teams, so maybe it was just an article.
Well, I mean, I guess it's time to tamper.
I mean, but even still, where if you're Holiday, like, where would you want to go? You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, if I'm Jrue, I'd want to go to Boston.
Well, here's the thing: there's more to it. I broke it down. So he's from LA, so you can't really like. I think it would be funny if they just knocked the middleman out and didn't do the 3-team trade and just did the trade straight with Portland. You know what I mean? Like, they may say we rather Holiday than Harden. You know what I mean? With Kawhi and Paul George. So there's that. Is already speculation with LeBron, and they got the Laker trade can't really happen until December, because they just re-signed D'Lo and Hachimura. So I don't think the Lakers are really in the discussion right now. But the Clippers, it could happen. He's from LA. I think Miami's under pressure, missing out on Dame.
Yeah.
To where they may give their best offer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But if I'm him though, in the West, him, if you add him to the Clippers, I'd be afraid to mess around with the Clippers. He's got a little bit of an injury issue, and then you got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Them guys might not even be on the court.
I get it. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of
hometown.
You know what I mean? Being home. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what Kawhi wanted. That's what a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of them really wanted. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint.
But
Boston is. I mean, I hate to say it, Boston is the best shot. You know what I mean? You can stick it to your old team.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You can. You're gonna contend. It's a perfect spot right there for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a nice spot. But, listen, Leon Rose, you got to put a call into Julius Randle. They played together for a season in New Orleans, 2018, 2019. Tell Julius Randle to put his best behavior on. You know what I mean? Put on your best behavior and let's go ahead and enter into this tampering. You know what I mean?
What does the chat think?
You know,
is the chat split or are they for it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? I'm gonna put a poll. I'm gonna put a poll up. All right, I'm gonna put a poll up to find out what the chat thinks. You know,
because this is intriguing. It's like I said, I'm not dead set for it or against it. You know what I mean? I see the pros and the cons of it.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest concern, honestly, is like you said, we would have to find some filler guys.
Yeah.
For the roster.
You know, I feel like even though, you know, you may not put yourself in the Milwaukee, Boston conversation. But we everybody else,
4 or 5.
Yeah, everybody
we stay right where we.
Yeah, we stay there or get better, in my opinion. I mean, everybody else, and now you got 4 guys that can give you 20 plus points on any given night. You know what I'm saying? You know, you may need that wealth of players to compete with those guys.
Shoot, if we still got IQ, I'm throwing him in the mix of the guys that could get you 20.
No doubt about it. Yeah. So now you got 5 guys that can go out there and get you 20. You know what I mean? So
and a bunch of glue hustle guys.
A bunch of glue hustle guys.
You know what I mean?
Leadership.
But
you know what I'm saying? Dante DiVincenzo gives you good basketball IQ. Jrue Holiday gives you good basketball IQ. You know, they both give you leadership. Jrue Holiday's won a championship, so he knows what it takes to get there and get it done. You know what I mean? You talk about having that, you know, like he'd be that vet. He would be that vet. Huh? Yeah.
I said Tibbs guy.
Yeah, he would be that vet. He'd be that vet out there, 33 years old. He'd be that vet. You know, he should have another good 3 or 4 years left in him. You know?
Now, if they're Portland, who would Portland prefer? You think they would want IQ or Grimes?
Got to look at their roster. Probably Grimes.
I think Grimes will fit better there too because I mean, he's not starting. I don't think he's starting over Simons or the rookie Scoop.
Right. But I think Grimes would be cool with that.
I agree.
Well, IQ, I think IQ is probably in the mindset if I go to another team, I want to start. I'll come off the bench on the Knicks. I ain't coming off the bench on Portland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't blame them for that either. I don't blame them for that. So I think they would probably want Quentin Grimes.
You're selling me a little bit more on the idea, son.
You know, and truth be told, though, when you look at Portland, if they kept Jrue Holiday on that team, they might even be a competitive team. To be honest with you, Jrue Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant, that's competitive. Anthony Simons, they'd be a competitive team if they kept them there. Now, Jrue Holiday probably wants to go to a contender, and I'm you know, they may even be trying to find a way to move on from Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, I was already thinking that's going to be the next. But again, they just signed him too.
They just signed him to a long contract.
They can't do nothing until
oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
December.
They can't do nothing for a while. You know, but you know, they could actually field a competitive basketball team if they kept Jrue Holiday. I don't think they will. They've already said that they're going to try to move him. So, I would expect that he's going to be on the move probably within the next couple of days because training camp starts this weekend. So he's probably going to be on the move within the next couple of days.
I think there's a whole bunch of fun. The only one that I won't find funny is Boston. But if he go to LA, the Clippers, I think that's hilarious because Philly got some things they're gonna have to figure out.
I'm gonna be so mad if he goes to Boston. I'm gonna be so mad because I know they will be nice.
I'm kind of rooting for him to go to the Clippers. If you know what I mean, like if it ain't us or whatever, but
go out west, right?
Yeah, just stay out west somewhere. Yeah. There's been rumblings of OKC having interest, but I don't see.
I don't see him wanting to go to OKC.
Yeah, I don't see him wanting to be there.
Yeah. So far, the chat is 66% yes, 34% no. Yep, I want those who say no. Not that I just want to know why you say no. Because I can understand the argument against, Brooklyn. Mr. D Flat said Brooklyn. That could be.
They was on my list too. They was on my list too. I don't know if. I mean, they have the picks. They have. I mean, it's not their own picks, but they have the picks. It would have to be Dinwiddie. I don't know if they definitely not giving up Bridges. I don't think they give up Cam Johnson either. Right. And I don't think they give up their big. Who else is over there besides Dinwiddie?
I don't know. I've got let me take a look at their roster.
But fit wise, him defensive point guard with Bridges with Cam.
Yeah, man.
And the big, that's scary.
Yeah, keep him away from Brooklyn too. Keep him away from Brooklyn and Boston. Keep him away from the B-boys, man. Keep him away. They got Ben Simmons over there.
Oh, Ben Simmons, yeah.
Simmons. I don't think Portland would want anything to do with Ben Simmons. Maybe I don't know.
I don't think they would, but that would be the ideal. Them taking that chance on Ben, and Boston not having to move Mikal or Cam. You know what I mean? That would be because they don't really know what they're missing in Ben because he hasn't played. You know what I mean? So
because
it's like
Ben, the thing is, Ben
make more, right?
Ben makes 37.8 this season and then 40.3 next season. So they'd actually be picking up more money.
They would. I mean, they would have
to take a chance on him.
Consider them believing in his.
They'd be picking up more money to take a chance on him. They got Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, Noah Clowney, Dariq Whitehead, Dennis Smith, Lonnie Walker, Cam Thomas, and they got a bunch of guys over there.
That's the funny thing too. You know what they could? They could do Dinwiddie and Royce O'Neal, pick up a draft pick, and then flip both of those dudes to other contenders.
Dinwiddie is 20.3, Royce O'Neal's 9.5, so they would need to add another 10 in somewhere.
Like 5, right? He at 30 something?
He's at 30, almost 37. Just about 37, so.
But I'm saying grabbing those two guys and flipping them, you know what I mean? Both those guys could get you some assets separately in another. Like they could just it could be the gift that keeps on giving after trading Lillard, you know what I mean?
It could.
Getting Holiday, picking up an asset, trading them, getting more picks. Like that's how you do it.
It could. I'm for it though, man. I just think he's a really, really good fit. And, for people who are concerned about, the Knicks giving up, assets, this and that. He would still be a tradable asset.
Yeah.
Right? He'd be a tradable asset. And let's put it like this. When your team gets better, people want to play for you. right? And he would help the team to get better. And somebody would look and say, I can fit right there on that basketball team. You know what I mean? That could be a Joel Embiid that says, I can fit at the center spot. Now you got Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Jrue Holiday, Joel Embiid, and Julius Randle maybe. If they found, well, probably Randle would have to go, but you know what I mean? You know, so, and if Giannis and Damian Lillard didn't work out and Giannis said, I'm out of here, oh, Jrue's over there in New York. I played with Jrue before. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. And the team is good. You know what I mean? So I think if you can get better with this, I think you try. I think you try. Because, just because I think he's a really, really good fit.
Injury concern too. We can't discount that.
There's no doubt about that.
We can't discount that.
No doubt about that. Injury concerns. You know what I mean?
We mentioned it with the Clippers, but
last year he played 67 games. The year before that, 67. He played 59 in 2021. Played 61 in 1920. Played 67 in 1819. He played 81 games in 1718. He's played. He's had 3 seasons where he's played below 60 games. 13-14, he played 34 games. In 14-15, he played 40 games. Okay. But last season, 19 points per game last season, 7.4 assists, 5.1 rebounds. He shot 38% from the three-point line, and he shot 47.9% from the field overall. You know what I mean? I like the fit. I like the fit with the Knicks. I really do. I think that he can. I think the Knicks would be a really, really good basketball team. I don't know if they're in the Boston, Milwaukee stratosphere by picking them up, but I think he'd be a really, really good basketball. I think they'd be.
Yeah, I think it puts us right below them.
Right below them. You know, we'd be battling for 3 and 4.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? I think.
I agree with that.
And Mr. D Flat said, plus, doesn't his contract finish up for when Donovan Mitchell is up? His contract, well, he has an opt-out clause. He can opt out next season. After this season, he could opt out. Now, he makes $39 million. I think he would probably pick up the contract, but then that would be the end of the contract, right? And Donovan Mitchell's contract ends. Well, Donovan Mitchell has an opt-out in 24-25. So, yeah, they end at the same time. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes. Let me ask you this. If the Knicks don't get Jrue Holiday, and looking at where Boston is and Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee, does that really affect the Knicks that much? Because you were already looking at Boston and Milwaukee at 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's why even if he ends up going to Boston, it doesn't really affect. It just makes those two definitively
the best
top
team.
2 teams.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Easily.
But yeah, to me that hurts Miami. But because I think even though it wouldn't put Miami with those 2 teams, Boston and the Bucks, they would be the definitive third, in my opinion, if they got Jrue Holiday with Bam and with Butler. You know what I mean? That's a formidable 3, especially based off of what they've done with what they've had in the past. You know what I mean? You add a Jrue Holiday to that mix, I think they become, just like if we get them, you know what I mean? Definitively 3rd, 4th best team.
Yeah.
But without them, I think they drop off tremendously. You know what I mean? They lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they banked on getting Dame. So if they don't get a consolation prize, I don't see where they they do have Hero returning. But you know what I mean? I think they point guards are old now. Yeah, I'm not worried about Miami. So yeah, I don't think it hurts us. I think it really just brings us closer to the next tier under them.
Right. Yeah, my man Anthony D said I'm a dreamer. I mean, I don't think it's a dream for the Knicks. Oh, and this is him. He's calling in. See what he's got to say.
Let's hear it.
See what he's got to say. Anthony D, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
You gonna pick up on one ring and leave my name up on the screen?
What's going on, man?
Yeah. What's going on, fellas? Tony Crow, Knicks Nation.
So
how we doing tonight?
I'm good. So what's your thoughts, man? Jrue Holiday.
Well, before I say Jrue, I called Steph and broke the news to her like earlier this afternoon that Dame was going to Milwaukee. Steph was like, "What?" I'm like, or yesterday, that Dame was going to Milwaukee. So we had a long. I had to talk off the ledge for a hot second. I'm like, Jrue Holiday is still an outstanding defender, a champion. He's always been a very good player. But the older I get, the more I realize is that it's not about what's the good fit for your team. It's what's the best relationship. You know, who's his agent? What school did he go to? It seems like that's what this organization is about under this management.
No lies about that.
It would be great. It would be absolutely great. He's not Dame at this point in his career, even though they're both the same age. But and offensively, he's never been Dame, but he's always been good. But I don't see them making a move for it. I think this is the team. You know, going into the season at the trading deadline, can I see them making a small move? Yeah. You know, but is Jrue the move?
I mean, I think that Jrue, he's not going to get you. He's not going to put you. He's not going to make you Milwaukee and Boston. But I think he makes you significantly better. And does set you up to be able to make another move, like, you know, where some of those bigger guys are looking like, yeah, I like what they're doing.
I think he could put you right there. You know, just name-wise, as we look at the teams, you know, yeah, maybe it's like above, but come playoffs, which is really what we're talking about. You know, we're not talking regular season, we're talking playoffs. I saw that man guard KD on the final shot in overtime, and KD went airball.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", 6'5", KD's 6'11". Airball. Up under him. Couldn't get the shot off. Couldn't get the most comfortable shot he wanted. So, you know, I think he would definitely be a very good piece. A very, very good piece that, you know, in the playoffs, things look a lot different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, it's like the old adage, you know, when, you know, your wife may be taller than you or whatever, but when you lay down, you're all the same size.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so Jrue Holiday would be perfect.
Yeah, I will. He'd be a nice fit. We'll see what the Knicks do. Listen, we talk about relationships. He played with Julius Randle for a season.
He did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So
but
maybe they got a
that season. Yeah, but that season in New Orleans, though, Sam, that season was kind of like everybody had their bags packed.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Julius is the only one playing. He's playing for numbers. We forget that he played with AD.
He played with AD.
Yeah,
AD.
They
definitely had their bags packed, boy.
Yeah, everybody had their bags packed. General manager didn't know when he was going to get fired.
Right.
Everybody was just, you know, look at the talent that was on that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it would be a good fit. I would be hella surprised. I'll tell you that. I'd be hella surprised if you know, because if they wanted to be in that trade, couldn't they? Let's be real. who would Portland would have rather been in that trade in that 3-team deal? Who has all the picks? There's 2 teams that has all the picks.
Yeah,
Knicks,
they wanted
OKC. Who would they really want in that trade? They would want the Knicks to be in that trade because they got more picks and they got their own picks.
Right.
You think Portland wasn't somehow going Dame, New York? He's going, no, I don't want to go there. I wanted to go there to win there 3 years ago.
Right.
You know, how did they get that 3-team trade? How did Phoenix get up off Ayton? That was the piece that shocked me. I was like, oh my God.
I know. I mean, maybe Portland wanted Ayton.
No, they
I
did.
could see them wanting Ayton. You know, he's a more than serviceable big.
Mm-hmm.
Offense and defense. They've gotten up under Nurkic.
Right.
They've been spinning that wheel over and over again for the last 7 years of Nurkic, 8 years of Nurkic.
Exactly.
And he's young and under contract.
And he's young and under contract. Ayton is young and under contract.
Right.
That contract looks very friendly now with everybody going up to 3. The next is 4. He's at 140, 150, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, Portland. Like I was telling Tony, if they kept Jrue Holiday around, they could actually field a competitive team.
Yeah, they could, but,
but
I don't see that. I don't think that's what Portland wants to do.
Right. And I don't think he wants to do it either.
And I don't think that's what he wants to do. I mean, out of respect for a veteran, especially a veteran of his caliber,
mm-hmm.
They're probably going to work something out. I don't see them cutting him by no means. That's not going to be a Kemba situation.
No.
By no means. So, but I was just shocked by that. But for the pieces because originally I thought it was Milwaukee, Portland straight up. And not until I got off my delusions of why the Knicks were in on that, and I was like, oh wow, this is interesting.
Yeah,
man. That was definitely interesting. But when you're Milwaukee, am I surprised that Milwaukee did that? No, because that's what you do for your star player.
Yeah. He
had to go on 2 rants, not 1, but 2.
Right. They had to do whatever they could do to make sure that they kept him around.
And even if he doesn't sign, you have to do that.
You have to, right?
At least you've shown him that you were listening. You're all in. This is a step.
Right.
You can retool for one more chip.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I do that. I do that every day of the week for my superstar. I do that, especially my superstar who's not delusional, who's not hanging MVP banners, who's not just happy with that.
Yeah, man.
The thing that Milwaukee needs to do more than anything else is to keep Greek healthy. They keep him healthy, it's good night.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough duo. And, let's not forget about Chris Middleton over there either, who's going to be there to help spread the floor. That's going to be a tough trio to deal with. No doubt about that. That's a tough trio.
That's a remarkable.
That's a tough trio to be. That's going to be tough.
When I heard Milwaukee's general manager pull that off, like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the kind of general managers that I'm looking. I'm not wasting. He can never say they wasted his prime.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
He's right
in the middle of his prime, but Definitely
because when it came down to it, they traded 3 first-round picks for Jrue several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, people were like, wow, you traded 3, they got a chip.
Right.
Who cares?
They got the chip. They got the chip.
You know, what are you stockpiling all these picks for if not to do something to put yourself in position to win a chip? Hello, Leon.
Hey, maybe he does something. Let's see. Maybe he does it. Man. But, hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time,
you're dreaming,
bro. Well, let's see. Let's see. We got to come. If it gets done, it's going to get done before training camp.
I hope so. All right, fellas.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
bro. Good chopping it up with y'all. Y'all know what it is. Knicks family for life.
Peace.
Yeah, we'll see what's up, man.
What do you say? Because I saw this on, I want to say, a Miami Heat chat. What do you say to the people that say the last time we seen Jrue Holiday, he was getting cooked by Jimmy Butler? Butler dropping 40 pieces.
I mean, listen, shit happens. That's what I got to say. What else can I say?
What would be your question marks on the Bucks right now?
On the Bucks? I
got 2.
We've never seen Damian.
I want to see if you got the same.
I don't know if we've seen Damian Lillard, and this, I'm not doubting Damian Lillard at all, but haven't seen him on a championship contending team at this level. And then he's always been the number 1 guy. How's he going to work? You know, how does he work with Giannis? And you know, they're basketball players, so I believe 100% that everything's going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get there. They're going to, they're hoopers. Hoopers hoop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there are questions, though. There got to be questions, in my opinion.
See, as far as I mean, I'm not concerned with them like their fit or like him being a number 1 or number 2, just because I feel like he's gonna be the closer now. You know what I mean? Like,
who is?
Like Giannis don't got to worry about
right,
putting that shot up
right
now at the end of games. That's gonna make them tough. But I think there are 2 question marks. You mentioned it earlier. Injuries. Like, honestly, Middleton injury, Lillard injury, and Giannis. I mean, that was really probably this past year, but I think that's the most injured he's been. But that would be my number 1 concern with them. Number 2, which I haven't really heard anybody mention. They got a rookie coach now, right? They just fired Bud.
Yeah.
So now they got Adrian Griffin.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be, you know what I mean, like an adjustment. I mean, we've seen rookie coaches come in, win championship right off the bat, Steve Kerr. But we've also seen that adjustment period for most rookie coaches. You know what I mean? Especially coming into we talk about Dame Lillard. You mentioned Dame Lillard on a championship team. And we talking about a rookie coach with championship expectations.
Right.
So I think that could be a big factor in at least this year.
At least this year. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's the same way with Boston's coach last year.
Correct.
Right? Right. A lot of expectations.
And he was critiqued.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, coming up,
he was critiqued, boy.
Too, who was a rookie coach, but he was critiqued.
Like, yeah, for real.
We did them losers live, just so we know.
Yeah, man. Kareem, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I can't complain, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of sitting there like, man, when they got Dame, I was like, come on, bro. Like, it's same conference and everything. I was like, man.
Right.
You know, you know, I heard, you know, I've been hearing, like, I remember posting in our chat about, you know, Knicks fans wanting us to go after Jrue Holiday. Some people was talking about him playing it too. You know, how would you guys feel about that?
I mean, I think Jrue and Jalen would go back to back, you know, being on the ball, off the ball. I think they would alternate. So I think they both get a chance to play the two. They both get a chance to play on the ball, being the primary ball handler. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, definitely, man. And then you got somebody that could kind of, you know, pick up the slack defensively too. You know, because, you know, Jalen's size is, you know, it's not like he can't play defense. He just, you know, physically is unable to, you know, guard the bigger guards, you know. So, yeah, man, Leon, get on that phone, man.
That's what I'm saying. I think, you know, yeah, man.
Because, like you said, you made a great point, man. I would hate for this dude, let's say, cool, like hypothetically, right? Man, Portland get rid of, and he come in the same conference, like, come on, I would hate that, man.
I'm telling you,
I would not want to see that.
I don't want to see that at all.
And Boston, the Boston thing makes sense because they lost Smart.
Yeah, that Boston thing could be scary. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it can. Because we got their number right now. We got Boston number right now. Like, we just match up against them well. But adding that dude to that lineup, man.
Changes a whole lot.
Yeah, like he locking down all our guards.
Yo, yeah, I think, he makes him more dangerous than Smart. Definitely, without a doubt. He makes them more dangerous than Smart. Did you guys hear Dame's his song Farewell?
Nah, I didn't hear it.
No.
I heard about it. I heard it was out, but I ain't hear it.
Yeah. He got a song Farewell, and you know he throws a couple of shots at Portland in the last verse. Yeah, he throws some shots at him.
Yeah.
Clearly,
and then also, I did hear the Pay the Full song though.
Yeah, clearly he's still kind of salty. You know what I mean?
What is he salty about exactly?
I'm sorry. You got paid, and they put you in a championship contention.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? You went from a small market to a small market. I think that was like the perfect opportunity for you. You know what I mean? Like it's right on brand for you.
It is. It is. I just think he wanted to stay. In Portland, and I think he feels like disrespected by them.
Yeah, but Sim, when you think about it though, Sim, right, from a historical standpoint, right? All right, like let's be real. Hypothetical scenario. We all NBA players, right?
Yeah.
We all communicate with each other. Which one of us wakes up more like, yo, Tony, I want to go to Portland, yo? Nobody.
Nobody. Right.
It's a team historically that most of their good players have come out of the draft.
Yeah.
They never been a highly regarded free agent spot.
Yeah. They blew the chance to become that.
They did.
You know, they drafted Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan.
But I ain't gonna lie, it's so crazy because I guess they went with need because didn't they have, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have Clyde at the time or was that later?
They might have.
Nah, they had Clyde.
I think they might have had Clyde. Yeah,
I think they went with need there. But like, bro, you take Michael Jordan. I don't care. I don't care who you got at the two guard. I'm taking Mike Jordan.
And then they took Greg Oden over Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, Mr. Broke Knees.
You know what I mean?
My son had no cartilage in his knees.
They had a chance to be a destination.
Yeah, man, because they man, LaMarcus Aldridge. What was the dude's name? The shooting guard they had. They had it. He had a degenerative bone disease. Brandon Roy.
Yeah, Brandon Roy.
Nasty.
Yeah, he was nasty. He was nasty.
You know, so yeah, but it's this is a great situation for him, man. This is a great situation.
It is.
You know,
it's a great situation for him. But you know, when you listen to the song, you can tell he feels a little salty about them trading him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but did he request the trade?
No. They
Okay.
They said that they want to go in a different direction. And that's basically what he put in the song too. Right? Because he was talking, kind of talking to the fans, and he was like, just know, it wasn't me, it was them.
It wasn't me, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it comes a time when you gotta any organization's gonna want to go in a different direction.
Yeah, you gotta do something else. You got to do something else.
Especially if results are not being produced, the results you're looking for as an organization. Yeah, so we all knew this day was gonna come. Like this is not, but I give it to him for loyalty to the fan base, man.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for that Christmas Day game. It's barbecue chicken. I don't care who they got, man. Let's go.
Who you talk about? The Knicks?
Yeah, we played them on Portland on that day.
Yeah, and then we play them the third home game of the season, I believe. First home game is the Cavs. The third home game we play Milwaukee. I think it's the third home game on that Friday. So we play the Cavs on November 1st, and then we play Milwaukee, and that is a one of the one of the in-season tournament games. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see how that's every Tuesday, correct? For like the first month and a half?
This game versus Milwaukee's on a Friday.
No, but that tournament you're talking about, that they just implemented?
Yeah, the in-season tournament. It's not really every Tuesday. It's like so many games for the first month of the season.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And it's like groups, correct?
Yeah, groups and stuff. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But you
I want this, Robin.
You coming to this November 1st game with us? You gonna be able to
make it? I gotta work that day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely make sure the next one, I'm gonna tell them take me off the schedule because I know you're gonna do more than one.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come to that game. They got seats on the floor under the basket, only $4.50 for those seats. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
I was looking at it. But that's gonna be a great game. Before I go though, Sim, man, I know he ain't the top of the discussion, man, but I seen my shout outs to Josh, man. He was talking about Quickley being an all defensive player. Yeah, I keep telling people, man, that dude's defense is crazy, bro. I was watching a game last season, right? And there were two offensive sequences, right? Where Quickley was in the paint, right? The big came down there twice, bro. And Quickley made him pass the ball out, even on that mismatch, because he beat him so well twice in a row.
Yeah.
Like this dude's his defense is getting crazy, man, and he knows all of Tibbs' schemes too.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You know what I mean? I mean,
line up with Quickley and
Jrue Holiday.
And Holiday.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That's tough.
That'd be crazy.
That's tough.
Throw some Josh Hart there.
Word. That's tough.
Robinson.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Tough.
We got some dogs on this team, and it's like Quickley when you look at them, you don't expect that from a player his size.
Yeah.
That's why I said when people make the 6-man argument, I'm like, dude, let's say even if he was the 6-man, he'll be like one of the first 6 men in history that could be up too. Most of those dudes are offensive guys off the bench.
Yeah.
They give you offense, not much defense. So that'd be crazy. But yeah, man, this dude, he's remarkable on that defensive end,
man. Yeah, man, no doubt. But hey, Karim, man, I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, fellas, good talking with y'all, man.
Yeah, no doubt
Barbecue
about
chicken, I'm telling you, baby, I'm telling you.
All
Bring anybody, bring Michael Jordan back in his prime. He getting cracked.
We better go get Jrue so we can play that. We gonna need that.
Yeah,
defense
Leon, get on the phone, Leon. Get off the sandwich and get on the phone, man.
We gonna need that defense against Dame.
Definitely, man.
All right, Karim.
All right, fellas.
Peace,
have a good night.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure, take some time. There's a link in the chat. There's a link at the top of your YouTube chat. Join us, Cavs at the Knicks. It's not Damian Lillard. It's Donovan Mitchell versus Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to miss it. It's going to be dope. November the 1st. All right. We got really good seats. Sections 223, 224, 225, center court, $155 per ticket. You're not gonna beat that price anywhere. I promise you that. You can go check if you want to, if you don't believe me, but you're not gonna beat that price. So you might as well get those tickets now. They're dwindling. Within the next day or so, will be under 10 left. All right, so, make sure you get them right now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, there's a link in the description of the video. There's a link at the top of your YouTube chat. All right, then, of course, we got the kickoff cookout next Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, and that's going to be dope. You know what I mean? Upstate, just below Albany. So if you're in the area, join us. If you're not in the area, come join us. You know what I mean? But that's going to be dope, man. Food, basketball, podcasting, all of that. Right? And I'm putting that link in the chat as well. But Tony, man.
Yes, sir.
Any last words before we rock up out of here? We said we was going to do 30 minutes. It's been an hour and 30 minutes.
That's how it goes, man. We talking Knicks.
You know what I mean? We said 30 minutes. Now an hour and 30 minutes. But you know what we going to do?
Hey, man. All I know is if the Knicks are going to do it, they need to jump on it because they're not the only team in the market for it. The longer they wait, the more teams get involved.
Yeah.
We see how fast this trade went down with the Bucks already. Out of nowhere. The day before it was Toronto is the lead candidate, and next traded to the Bucks. So yeah, if they want them, better get on the phone because I know the Clippers are interested. I know Boston's interested. I know Philly's interested. I know Miami's interested.
Right.
And all those guys, especially those East Coast teams.
Yeah, those East Coast
direct
teams,
competition against us.
Yeah, those East Coast teams, those East Coast teams, keep them away from those East Coast teams, man. That's, keep them, especially Boston, Brooklyn, keep them away. Keep them away. So, hopefully the Knicks get themselves involved. Anthony is right, though. Ant is right. The Knicks have, this regime has notoriously been conservative. They've been conservative. So I guess we'll see, we'll see if they're ready to let their head down. You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Again, please check out those tickets. Cop some of those tickets before they're gone. All right. The supply is dwindling. You know what I mean? The supply is dwindling, so make sure you get them. I just put the link in the chat once more. Again, it's in the description of the video. It's tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. And yeah, we're up out of here, folks. Be peaceful, get some rest. If you're at work, you know what I mean? Do your thing. Get that job done. I'm out of here. Peace.